Little doodad's moving, so I assume somebody can hear me. Working, hear me. Cool. Loud and clear. Awesome. The sound is glorious. Awesome. Thanks for letting me know, everybody. Be right back with you in, I don't know, 3.5 minutes, through almost 4 minutes. Be right back. All right, we got about 2 minutes to go. David, what's up with the new Apple token VR web app? I don't know. What is up with it? You tell me. Why would you think it was a buy? New crypto from Apple? Yeah. There's a new crypto from Walmart too. Just because a company has a crypto, does that mean you buy it? How's everybody doing? Anybody new here? All my new people, let me know. Anybody new? Anybody new? Yeah, there were 200 new cryptos this weekend. I could not keep up with 5, let alone 200. So new, welcome, Dan. Glad you're here. All right. Tuesday is not all about crypto. Tuesday is about the market. So, want to know crypto? Come to the join crypto power plays. Talk crypto. Jackie's new too. Awesome. Glad to have you. Let's see. Lots of people here. About 30 seconds. My lovely wife, Kimberly, is not in the crowd. My leading joke is less funny without her here. All right. Justin, you ready to hand over the reins here? Share my video. There I am. Share my screen. All righty. How's everybody doing? Good. Lighter crowd than we had last week. Had a full house last week. All right. So, my wife, big news. My wife Kimberly got me a cat for Christmas, right? So, everyone want to see this cat? Anybody in the chat? Check it out right here. Look at the video. Yeah, she got me a cat, a Lego cat D11 bulldozer. So here it is so far. Hold it up. About that much put together. The box is huge, humongous. Sitting down here. Oh, see this monster? Pretty crazy, huh? Yeah. So I've got it sit in the studio here. As it's got various motors and stuff, and that's the subframe, and yeah, so cool, right? And it's got 2 of these giant freaking books to put it together. So project. I mean, it depends. I don't sit in the studio here and do the Lego thing, so it'll probably take me a couple months. I got a Batmobile to put together too. I've had that for 2 years and haven't even opened it yet. Anyway, all right, let's get started, shall we? Enough about Legos. All right, let's see. Up to the charts. So S&P 500. We usually start out with this. Yeah, it's a remote control deal. It's got a Bluetooth cell phone control thing, so it'll be cool. Let's see. I close the chat. Awesome. There's the chat. There's people. All right. ES. So we've got this trend line here going from back here in December to the low late December to passing through this one from early January, and then today kind of poking through a little bit. And this is a live chart, 20 minutes delayed or something, I think. What they got on here, 10 minutes delayed. So 10 minutes delayed. Thing here, if this closes below here, below this trend line, we run the risk of coming down to this 144 EMA, right around 4,500. So just beware that that risk is out there. All right. Now, I do think that the 144 EMA is strong support. And on NQ, we've tested it 1, 2. Today's the 3rd time, closing a little bit below it, but still in this box. So the box is still holding support. Where's the box come from? Back over here. What was support and resistance from all the way back in September. This thing could push a little lower and retest the top of this. So this orange box could, in fact, extend down about like that. Right now, I expect it to stay where it is, right up in this vicinity. So beware, there is a potential that we see some lower lows this week. Now, Friday seemed like a bad day, but lo and behold, markets don't bottom on Friday. Markets do and can find bottoms on Mondays. They just don't typically find a bottom on a Friday. Why? I don't know. It's just the way it is. So today was Tuesday, not a Monday. So Monday on a Tuesday. So we do have some data missing just from the holiday weekend. Now, Russell pushing down outside of this long year-long consolidation. Now, are we going to do the same sort of try to push out the top, try to push out the bottom, and then we do something else? I don't know right now. But this one, this is a lower low than we've had for quite some time. Retesting this low from all the way back in March of last year. So Russell still kind of consolidating. It's not, I mean, it is out of the wedge a little bit. And of course, it pushed out of the wedge there in November, and then now we're back down and we're pushing out the bottom of the wedge, but we're still in this range that we set up from all the way back here in March of 2021, like almost a year ago. Still messing around in that same range. Now breaking out, we could come down and test this lower, this low that we made back here in January of last year, which we put it around something around 2031, looks like. So that's another 60 points down roughly that Russell could do. So if you're in small caps, just beware. Now, let's talk about oil, something that is hyped up right now. the bright spot of the day, oil. Now, a couple weeks ago, I warned when we broke through this orange box, we'd probably move right back up to the prior high. That's what we're doing. In fact, looks like we're closing at a new high for the last 2 years here. Yeah. Hadn't been up here since 2014. Hadn't been up to these levels. So big stuff on oil. Now, something to watch. Do we make a top here? Do we hit this 2618 extension that's just above the box, just above the prior high and stop? Or do we break out? So I had this target zone from back in the summer, right in here around the 80, I think it was 88 to 90 level. And I do see potential for us to break on out to 100 and find some confluence up in here. Now, I have talked about the threat that we have the reverse situation of what happened in March of 2020, where we had not enough storage in Cushing, Oklahoma, where the futures contracts are delivered. We had not enough storage in March 2020, and it drove the price of oil negative. It was just briefly, but it went negative. Now, there's a situation right now where the opposite could happen, and there be no oil in Cushing, Oklahoma, and it could cause a super spike in oil to 150 to 200. So just beware that possibility exists, and that could have devastating effects across the market if we got some kind of super spike in oil. So just be aware. Right now, I am in some April UCO. Everybody wants to know how I play oil. I play it with UCO. I have $110 April calls right now. I did have a position in January calls, and I closed those out. I subsequently opened April 110 calls, and that's what I have right now. I still expect UCO to see a price in the 130s to 150s. You see this? See how these lines line up and make a big, thick, dark line right there? Somewhere in that neighborhood, I see UCO. Now, if oil itself did a crazy Ivan spike up to 150 to 200 area in that crazy scenario, this thing is ultra, it's leveraged, and it could see a mega spike up here to 200 or so, maybe even 300. So just be aware. Other people like USO, that one you can see same sort of move, but the potential, the numbers just aren't like, it's not as leveraged and doesn't have the support to go quite as high. And we're at 60 now. It looks like 65, maybe 76 would be the upside. So, well, I mean, UCO could be on the downside. The flip side, if we make a super spike, you could play SCO for recovery. This is ultra short oil. So this thing, and it's probably scheduled to do some sort of reverse split at some point in the future as it drops below 10. So this is the opposite. So if UCO is ultra long oil, and then SCO is ultra short oil. All right. And this is recorded on YouTube. You can go back on YouTube and watch it. So if you've missed anything. So there we go. That's my oil futures, CL1 exclamation point. So what most people trade as oil. That's the price you hear most of the time on the news, oil futures. It's going to be light crude. That's CL1 exclamation point in trading view. It is poking up here, this all-time high. Approaching, coming into my target zone that I've had since July of last year. And if we break right on through, we could see prices up to 100. So if you're not prepared for $100 oil, like I've said for a few weeks now, you might want to reevaluate what you got going on. I mean, it could be $6 a gallon gas in California, probably $4 or $5 a gallon gas nationwide. This is the average. So it's just something you need to be aware of. Watch out. And that's the way you can trade it too. I'm going to move that big old instruction book off the desk. So that's the way you can trade it. UCO, USO, spread the love around. Now, one thing, the implied volatility on UCO is flat at 75% from now all the way out to 2024. So the market is not pricing in any kind of crazy move in oil. But I kind of feel like the threat's out there. So you have been warned. Couldn't think of something awesome to say there. So anyway, gold still riding this trend of higher lows. The lows still riding this trend of higher lows up through here. It had a little spike up, spike down today. Nothing really in the grander scheme of things. We're still looking for a breakout over 1830 for it to be able to move on up to retest these highs around 1880. So 1830 and 1880. But this trend line coming up through here, if we get a solid close on the daily below there, we definitely could be set up for a move to go lower than the low we had last summer. Probably the extensions take us down. You know, that was kind of made the low in March, and again in April, then again in the summer. But if we break below that, we're probably set up to visit this 1620 area. So watch that on gold. That is a long way down from 18 to 16. I mean, it's $200 down. So I do have the Echo trade still open. And it's not looking so hot with only 3 days left. I was kind of hoping that we'd see a breakout today or, you know, over the weekend, but it just hasn't materialized. We're just kind of sitting here in this little triangle-y wedge thing between the top of that orange box and this uptrend. So at some point we're going to pop either up or down. I don't know which way yet. The chart will tell us. All right. Moving on. Bitcoin still consolidating. Just it's the implied volatility of Bitcoin has just dropped off a cliff with this consolidation that we've had for almost 2 full weeks now. Just kind of sitting down here in this range. It did have a implied volatility. It was ramped up, and with this right here, it's just dropped out. Now, one thing last week, Bitcoin futures did hit an all-time of open contracts. With Bitcoin having been down, that's probably short contracts, but it could be long contracts. Could be people loading up to go long. Could be people hedging against their massive Bitcoin holdings. You just never know. So as you can see, the bullish case has not worked out here. We came down and tested this zone we tested from back in October, and it was also resistance from all the way back last summer in June. You know, resistance turns support, and we're just laying on top of support right now. Bitcoin's got to get something interesting's got to happen. We either got to dip and clear out some longs, or we got to take off. Otherwise, just sitting here sideways. Now, the benefit of going sideways and reduced volatility is the fact that bigger players become attracted to things that aren't volatile. So for wider hedge fund and investment opportunity, you know, to attract bigger money, this thing's got to settle down in volatility. So this could be a positive with the volatility dropping off in Bitcoin. All right, now something else I want to talk about. So I put out this thing called the market roadmap every week. The watch list for this week, put out on Sunday, was ABT, Alpha Bravo Tango, APO, Alpha Papa Oscar, DHI, Delta Hotel India, Google, GOOG, which is Golf, Oscar, Golf, LAC, Lima Alpha Charlie, LLY, Lima Lima Yankee, M for Mike, and then Microsoft, MSFT, Mike Sierra, Foxtrot Tango, QQQ, Quebec, TECL, Tango Echo Charlie Lima, and Tango Quebec. So that's the list. I'm going to go through the charts and kind of show you what I was seeing when I made the list. So we're going to flip up to a daily chart. We're going to turn on the roadmap if I can. I don't have it on this chart. Awesome. All right. So let's start out with ABT. This line right here is essentially the top of the roadmap line. Let's see if I have any, turn those off. I don't have it on here. Those two are the roadmap line. So, all right. This one came down to the roadmap line. Today, pushing a little lower. Over the weekend, it was above it. So we would need to see a move up through this level right here, around 136, 137-ish, to get a confirmation that we're probably headed to 147. All right. That's the long and the short on that one. Now, I made a video about this for members of Market Roadmap. And I'm just going to kind of go through them all for you real quick through the watch list and give you all, the broader free audience, a taste of what it is on the Market Roadmap. So right here, swing high, swing low. We're sitting here above the Market Roadmap. So the most aggressive entry you could take would be a move up through this 7167, 7170 area right here. That's the most aggressive entry. Price got up right there. Now, it would kind of do a confirmation if we see a move right up here into 76. So if you went long 76, you'd be expecting a move up to 85 on an APO. Now, talk about stop for here. On this one, if you got in here, I would definitely put the stop right down at this level. Oh, I meant to have a line instead of an arrow. Right down to here, around 64.50, just below the roadmap line, just in case we got, just one more dip before we take off. Now, if you got in up here, you're gonna have higher risk, but I'd still keep it right down here below whatever low it was, below the last low. If we dip a little bit lower, below that low. If we maintain this low, below this low. This would be your entry, and then your target up here at 85. All right. Next on the list, and that one's, the entry's not there yet, so entry hadn't been there for the first two. So DHI, pulling back on this one also. Kind of notice the theme, right? Where they're all bouncing off this double EMA line thing that I call the market roadmap. On the actual market roadmap, it's orange. On here, I don't have the indicator loaded, but I know what makes it up. So right here, it rejected the 618. So for this one, the minimum requirement, gonna have to see a move up above 104. Blast right up through there. That sets it up to go to 115. All right. GOOG. OOG. Golf, Oscar, Golf. Oh, right down to here on the 144 EMA. So a bounce up through. Let's remove that other line that's confusing at this point because it's on a prior pullback. So right here to here. We failed at the 50% line on this bounce. So we really need to see something come up into this 29.15 area, right around here. And that would set it up for Google to take off to 31.40 area. All right, that'd be the target. Stop again down here below the low. Yeah, stop in ABT. It's below that roadmap line. So stop would be down here, right around 125, 124, 125. And then DHI, the entries aren't there yet. So I would not, I'd have my order up here, not down, don't just get in tomorrow. That's super dangerous. So this thing may never materialize as an entry. But the stop on the DHI would be around 92, right down here below the last low. All right. Next one up, LAC. I'm giving y'all a bunch of trades this week. Oh, that's LAB, not LAC. Fingers work. So this one's closer to an entry. A most aggressive entry is going to be right there around 3180-ish. Go from the high, run down to the low here. So that's the most aggressive entry. The confirmation entry is going to be right up in here, passing through the 618. This is getting I would want to see a daily close. Since we're looking at a daily chart, you want a daily close up in this area. And then the next day, you go long if it's going up. If it just, the next day is dropping right back down, you don't want that mess. All right. So this one right here, around 35, say 35.21-ish, 35.30, 35.40, somewhere in that neighborhood right there. Stop is going to be down here, below the roadmap at this point, around 24. target up here around 47.16. So, you know, every week for the roadmap, I target 5. All right. This week we had 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We had 11. Last week we had like 15 on the roadmap watch list. So, and lately I've been doing videos to lay this all out for everybody. We've been having a little bit of trouble figuring out how exactly to play the roadmap setups. So this one right here, like that green candle today, would have been even more awesome if it was higher than the red candle from Friday. But this one right here, again, we're gonna have to see a move right up through. So you could count that high right there, right at the 50%. You could go along there, but you're going right into the 618. I'd love to see a cross above the 618 for LLY. So that would put the entry right up in this neighborhood, right around 270. Gives you a target of 296 up here. You know, stretch goal up here, 312. And your stop down here, right around 239. All right, that's LLY. Next up, M from Macy's. So this one already tried. So most aggressive would be a break up through there. I actually bought 1 share of this when it did this little number last week. I think it was, maybe it's the week before last. Let's see. I guess it was week before last, 2 weeks ago, 19 days back, almost 3 weeks back. I guess it was right before New Year's. My days are all blending together already. Not even 3 weeks into the new year. So most aggressive would be a move up through here. If you want to do a conservative type entry, probably something around 32.25 would be your entry. Stop's gonna be down here around 22.60 or so, right? You know, for initial. Now, once this thing gets moving up, you want to move your stop up to profit and move it up above your entry. So if it fails and comes back through, you at least take a little bit of profit. Yeah, 43.36 is the upside target, along with 51 up here for a stretch goal. All right. So hope you're taking notes. If not, you can watch the like I said, this is going up on YouTube, so you can watch the replay. If you're watching on YouTube, you can make sure and like, subscribe for more content and come back next week. So, all right. Microsoft, even with their awesome news of buying Activision and gonna mess up Blizzard. Let's see. I had 2 sets of fibs on there, didn't I? Let's clear these off. Clear the prior fibs. So this whole move down from the high here, let's clear these other arrows off here. Since it didn't do that, it did the bearish case here. All right, there we go, nice and clear. So highest high, lowest low. Now aggressive entry on Microsoft could be something around this level right here. So looking at 323 roughly, a breakthrough there. Now, really on this one, I might want to see a conservative confirmation move up through the 618 here, somewhere around 33, 333.50, somewhere around there. A close, we're looking for a daily close up in this area to go long. And then your stop's gonna be all the way back down here around 300. You got a little bit of risk on this, but we're looking for 363 to 381 on the upside. I'm looking for it to move up here or even up there. So first target 363, second target 381. All right. Now, again, this hasn't set up. I mean, it's a watch list for a reason. All right. They haven't signaled the entries yet. Now, QQQ. I know this one pulled back a little bit today. Right back in there. Didn't make a new lower low yet, though. So let's clear off the prior fibs here. Clear off some of these arrows. Just remove drawings. There we go. Easy enough. All right. The high up there, the low right here. Most aggressive entry is going to be right in here about 390. That puts you right into the 618 though. So me, I'd probably wait till I move right up in here to be long, somewhere around 396, 397. That puts the target up here at 420 and the stretch goal at 435. That'd be a pretty good little move on QQQ. The stop, of course, down here below the low. What is that, like 368.50-ish? So that's your trade on QQQ at this point. TECL. This one right here, technology 3 times pull. So this one's going to be leveraged 3 times. Again, it's tech stocks going up. Kind of tied the low. So this one right here, since this bounce is right up next to that 618, need to see a move back up in this area to get me interested. You set your alert somewhere around here, around 84 for a possible potential entry. Now, if these things just break on down through these EMAs right here, break low, break down, it kind of messes up the whole setup. So that one, right, that's why it's a watch list, right? So stop around 60, 67 right now. Entry is going to be up here around 83.70, and the targets are going to be up here all the way at 98.90 and 109. So pretty fair move up if it can break out of this funky pullback. All right, last on the list was TQQQ. And not a big fan of that move down there. This is kind of like an ultra QQQ setup, similar to the last two, with a QQQ and TECL. This one right here is going to need a move up into this area right here, right around 83. Set these alerts on your chart if you want to. That'll take it up to 100, or if it keeps on going, could get to 112. And the thing about this, a lot of these roadmap stocks, you can see when they bounce, they tend to run and get some higher targets, like right here, all the way up to that 272 level almost. And then it bounced again and then got there. So this thing could see a move up to like 140. All these have that kind of potential with this setup right here to get out to the 272 level, not just the 1272 or 1618. It could get out to the 272, 227.2% level. So I could put this out to 140 on the next run. And these aren't fast. I mean, these take months. You'll see that bounce right there. June, July, August, September, pulled back a little bit. Then October, November, it hit it. So these are ones you're going to be in a little while. Okay, it's a nice slow kind of trade. I usually look, when I'm talking to members, I'm saying 3 to 5 months is usually the time frame I'm looking for these targets to play out. All right, and it's not just 3 to 5 months to the first target. I'm talking 3 to 5 months to some of these higher targets. I was just giving you first targets. As these things come up, you want to lock in profit, keep moving your stop up, and keep looking for the move higher. Let it climb the Fibonacci ladder. All right, so stop on this one down here below the low, around 65. All right, that's TQQQ. Now, these are all off of what I call the market roadmap. I don't have a long pitch tonight, just a little something. So if you're interested in getting a list like this every single week and a video, we don't have time to do the video. You get the weekly watch list, you get access to Discord, you get tons of education on it. You get a chat to ask questions about it. You get the setups when I do them. If I actually get into one, I put it in there. Go to jeffreytrader.com/MRM, market roadmap. And there's a little green button on that website page. I loaded it up right before I got in here. Just click that order now button. It takes you right down to the order form. Fill it out. You can read the page if you want to, find out information about it. If you need to speak to somebody, 855-454-0816, you can claim the market roadmap. So as 11 trade setups, all on the market roadmap. So Yeah, well, the market roadmap plays in the market direction. Right now, the market direction is still up, even though we've been sideways for since November, 3 months now. So the market roadmap, the setups are all in the direction of the market. Basically, the market's been in a giant bull market on the weekly and monthly charts. So since these are daily setups, I like to only look at them going with the market direction. You can use the same thing to look for down setups, but I find them less reliable because something like 90% of the stocks will just go in the direction of the market each day. So why bet on the 10%? We can just bet on the 90%. All right. So like I said, get your weekly watch list every week. I give you the best picks I have that are set up bouncing off this roadmap line. So jeffreytrader.com/MRM stands for market roadmap. You get in Discord, you get to talk to me, you get all the extra trades that are in Discord. So that's probably going to wrap us up for this week. Next week, we got a potential special guest coming in. So you may want to make sure you're here next week, find out if we got our special guest. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching. Comment on cost of market roadmap. Is that what you're asking? We can look at the page real quick. See what's priced at. jeffreytrader.com/MRM. So pop it up. That was just jeffreytrader.com/MRM. Order now. Looks like you can get a lifetime for $297 and you get 1 year for $47. That's 52 watch lists for $47. Less than $1 a watch list. Heck, the lifetime right there, $297. I mean, you get unlimited watch list for $297. Any questions? Any more questions? Yeah, satisfaction guaranteed as always. But I mean, heck, we're giving you a watch list every week with awesome setups. I take a bunch of them myself. So, like I said, lately I've been putting out a video every week on them. So, all right. See you next week. Thanks for watching. 5 p.m. every Tuesday. Yep. I'm right here. Like I said, we have a potential special guest next week. So come see who it is. If you're in Discord, ask me about AMD. I'll give you a chart. If you're not in Discord, go join Market Roadmap for $47 and you can get in Discord and ask me about AMD. All right, everybody. jeffreytrader.com/MRM. Wait. What am I waiting for? How you find me in Discord? You join one of my services and then you get the links. If you're in my services and you haven't found the link yet, contact support. The server is right here. Oh, I was going to talk about BBIG. I didn't even talk about it. Oh. This guy right here. To set up for a squeeze right here. Options are going crazy. Got a lot of options being bought. This is today right here. Setting up BBIG for a squeeze play. Got price in blue in the background. Pop it up so I can draw on it. So you got BBIG, which is the gamma exposure, and the price. The blue is the price. The orange bars are the gamma. Gamma's spiking out here. So a $2 million level right here. Now you can see that hadn't been that high since price had spiked back here and spiked back here. So now we expect a spike out here. All right. Going back. Go back. Yeah, Jeffrey Termeyer Trading is the Discord server. Right there. This is my little tester account right here, just to show it off with. And that was right in the free area there. I put that chart in there. So right in there for everybody. You can see I'm up. These are my biggest gains today in my retirement account. BBIG was up $4,000 and UCO oil up $765. The reasonable targets in the 20s for BBIG. That's the reasonable conservative target. I talk about it in Discord, so go to jeffreytrader.com/market roadmap, MRM. Join up. You can see all the targets, all the information, and all the extra commentary we got going on BBIG and the others. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll wrap it up. Thanks, Damon. Thanks, Lynn. Have a great day.